Hello everyone, I'm Thayang and we are reading Elementary Chinese Reader 2. We have seen that in Chinese, to denote various tenses, various situations, we used various kind of particles. In this lesson, we are going to see usage of a particle called ch that is used to denote a situation that is currently happening or is it ongoing. Let's have a look at the following sentences in the box to see the usage of particle ch. 桌子上放着收音机。桌子 table 上 up or on 放 to place 着 this is the particle that is used to denote that the radio is currently on the table 收音机 a radio 桌子上放着收音机 radio is placed on the table or radio is on the table. We use ch to denote that at present or currently the radio is on the table. Let's have a look at the second sentence. 墙上 chang is a wall, shang up or on. 挂着 qua is to hang, on wall is hanging or are hanging. Chi pa 7 or 8. This is a way to show approximate number in Chinese. So if you have to say 4 or 5, 10 or 11, we put together these two numbers separated by a comma. 墙上 on the wall, 挂着 hanging. Notice the use of ch again here. This can be also thought of as using ing in English. For example, clothes are hanging on the wardrobe, or pictures are hanging on the wall. So when we use ing with hang, it becomes a continuous statement. So something is happening in present. Let's read the sentence. 墙上放着7、8张照片. 照片 is picture. On wall are hanging 7 or 8 pictures. This is the usage of ch to denote a happening or a current situation, an ongoing situation, similar to usage of ing in English. Hanging, sitting, eating, usage of ing. In place of using ing in English, we use particle ch in Chinese. Let us have a look at some substitution drills to understand the usage of ch in more detail. Let's have a look at the first sentence. 桌子上放着什么? What is placed on the table? 桌子上 on the table. 放着 is placed. 什么 what? What is placed on the table? 桌子上放着收音机. On the table is placed a radio, or radio is on the table. Let us now have a look at the words in the box to make replacement in this sentence and making more sentences with the usage of ch. Let's have a look at the words in the box. 衣柜上 on the wardrobe. 一只箱子 a suitcase. On the wardrobe there is a suitcase. Replace these words in the above sentence to make a sentence which means a suitcase is placed on the wardrobe. Moving on to the second word in the box. 衣柜里 inside the wardrobe. 一些衣服 some clothes. Replace these two words in the above sentence to make a sentence which means inside the wardrobe are placed some clothes. So ch is being used to denote an action that is happening at the moment. Moving on to the third word in the box. 桌子两边 both sides of the table. 两把椅子 two chairs. On both sides of the table are placed two chairs. Replace these words in the above sentence Moving on to the last word in the box. 小桌上 on the small table. 收录机 a radio cassette recorder. Replace these two words in the above sentence on the underlined part to make a sentence which means on the small table is placed a radio cassette recorder. Moving on to the next substitution drill, let's have a look at the second sentence. 窗户开着没有? 窗户 is window. 开 is to open. 着 denote a continuous or happening action. 没有 or not. Is the window open or not? 窗户开着呢? The window is open. Notice the usage of na at the end of second sentence. Remember, ch is used to denote an action that is happening. It does not denote that it is a present continuous tense. It could be a past tense sentence or a future tense sentence as well. If we have to denote that action is a present continuous tense, we have to use zai, chang zai, along with na at the end of the sentence. So in this sentence, this is a present continuous tense because we have used na at the end of this sentence. 窗户开着呢? The window is open. Moving on to the words in the box to make replacement in this sentence of the underlined parts, let's have a look at the words in the box. Man, door. So when we replace man in the above sentence, man 开着没有? Is the door open or not? 箱子 suitcase. Replacing suitcase in the above sentence. 箱子开着没有? Is the suitcase open or not? And when we reply in affirmative, we say 箱子开着呢? The suitcase is open. 衣柜 wardrobe. Replacing 衣柜 or wardrobe in the above sentence. 衣柜开着没有? Is the wardrobe open or not? 衣柜开着呢? The wardrobe is open. 收音机 radio. 收音机开着呢? Is the radio open? 没有 or not? 录音机 recorder. 录音机开着呢? 没有. Is the recorder open or not? 电视机 a television set. 电视机开着没有? Is the television set open or not? Remember, when we have used an affirmative, we have used particle na at the end to denote a continuous sense. If we have to reply in negative, we use may. So in this sentence, if we have to say the door is not open, we say 门没开着. The door is not open. 箱子没开着. 衣柜没开着. 收音机没开着. 录音机没开着. 电视机没开着. When we have to make a negative sense negation, we use may or mayo. Moving on to the next substitution drill, let's read the sentence. 他们热着看报. 热 to sit. 着 denoting a happening event. 他们坐着 they are sitting. 看报 read newspaper. They are sitting and reading newspaper. 着 again added with 坐 sit denotes that they are sitting and reading newspaper. Moving on to the box to make replacement in the underlined parts. 站 to stand. 看球赛 to watch a ball game. 笑 to smile. 谈话 discuss. 他们笑着谈话. They are smiling and discussing. 走 to walk. 出 清华大学。他们走着去清华大学。They are walking to Tsinghua University. 跑 to run. 出操场。他们跑着出操场。They are running to the sports ground. Moving on to the next substitution drill, let's read the following sentence. 孩子们 kids or children. 唱这个唱 is to sing. 歌 is a song. 这 denoting a happening action. 孩子们唱这个 the children singing a song. 在 at 路 road. 上 up or on. 走 to walk. Children are singing a song and walking down the road or walking on the road. 孩子们唱这个在路上走。The children are singing a song and walking on the road. Let's now move on to the box to have a look at the words to replace in this sentence to make more such sentences. Let's have a look at the words in the box. 跳 to jump. 舞 is dance. 欢迎 welcome. 客人 guest. 孩子们 the children jumping and dancing welcome the guest. Replace these three words in the underlined parts in the sentence to make a sentence which means the children jump and dance, or they are jumping and dancing to welcome the guests. Moving on to the next word in the box, let's have a look at the words. 穿 to wear. 新衣服 new clothes. 去公园 go to park. 孩子们 children wearing new clothes go to the park. Make replacement of these three words in the above sentence to make a sentence which means the children's wearing new clothes go to the park. Moving on to the next word in the box. 看 to see. 书 book. 回答 answer. 问题 question. Children look at the book and answering question, or children are answering question looking at the book. 看书回答问题。孩子们看着书回答问题。这 denoting a happening event or happening action. Children are answering the question by looking at the book. Moving on to the next substitution drill, let's read the following sentence. 墙上挂着什么？墙 wall. 挂 to hang. 什么 what? What is hanging on the wall? 墙上挂着几张画。On the wall are hanging 几张 several pictures. Moving on to the words in the box to make suitable replacement in these two sentences. Let's have a look at the words in the box. 两三地图 地图 is map. 两 and 三 we have to make replacement in the second part. 墙上挂着 on the wall are hanging 两三地图. Notice liang and sun come together with a comma. This is a way to show approximation in Chinese. So if you have to say on the wall were hanging 2, 3 or 4, 5 or 10, 15 or 15, 20. So if we have to say an approximate number, we place these two numbers separated by a comma, same as we did in this sentence. 墙上挂着两三张地图. On the wall were hanging, or on the wall are hanging 2, 3 maps. Moving on to the next word in the box. 摄记 several tens. 照片 pictures. On the wall were hanging several 10 pictures or tens of pictures. G is several, 摄 10, several tens. Moving on to the next word. Let's have a look at the words in the box. 色 5, 4, 5. 画片 pictures. On the wall were hanging 4, 5 pictures. Make replacement of these words in the sentence to make a new sentence, which means on the wall were hanging 4 or 5 pictures. 这些屋子 this room 能 can 住在 live 多少人 how many people can live in this room? 这些屋子能住在 in this room can live 五六舍 notice 五 comma 六 and then 舍 this means 50 or 60 Karan people. So in this room 50 to 60 people can live. Approximately 50-60 people can live in this room. Moving on to the words in the box to make suitable approximation. Let's have a look at the words in the box. 15, 六 15 and 六 this means 15 or 16. 15 六 this means 16 so 15 or 16 people can live in this room. 700 several hundred people can live in this room. 70 several 70 or 70 odd people can live in this room. 80 80 tuo when used after a number this means more than 80 people can live in this room. 80 tuo more than 80 people can live in this room. Let us now read the text of this lesson. Farm 1. Visit not min peasant or a farmer. Tia ting family or household. Visit to a farmer family or a peasant household. 是多个 more than 10 外国朋友 foreign friends. 访问了 visited not men peasant or farmer. 往过华 this is a name of a person. The jia home or family. More than 10 foreign friends visited the home or family of farmer 往过华往过华和他爱人去劳动了。爱人 is a spouse, a husband or a wife. 劳动 labor. Nongmen or peasant Wang Kuohua and his wife had gone to do labor. 他父亲和母亲在家. His father and mother were at home. 看见 on seeing or saw. 外国朋友 foreign friends 来了 came. On seeing that foreign friends have came, 他们很高兴 they became very happy. They were very happy. 手着 shaking. 客人们 guests the 手 hands. 说 said. Wang Kuohua and his wife had gone to do labor. His father and mother were at home. On seeing or watching that foreign friends have came, they became happy. Shaking their hands, they said, 欢迎欢迎 welcome welcome. 他们请客人 请 here means to invite. They invited the guest 到屋里坐 to sit inside the room. They invited the guest to come inside the room and sit. 屋子的门 the door of the room 和窗户 and window 都开着 both were open. They invited the guest to come and sit inside the room. The door of the room and window both were open. 屋子里很干净 inside the room it was very clean. 也很整齐 整齐 is neat, also very neat. Inside the room it was very clean and also very neat. 外边的屋子里 外边 outside 屋子里 inside the room that was outside. 中间 in the middle 放着 placed 一张桌子 a table. Inside the room that was on the outside there was placed a table. 桌子两边 on both sides of that table 放着 placed 几把椅子 several chairs. So on the room that was on outside, there was placed a table, and on both sides of that table, there was placed several chairs. 去把椅子桌子上放置 draws the table 上 up 放置 placed 电视机 television set. On the table there was placed a television set. So on the room that was outside there was a table. On both sides of the table there were several chairs, and on the top of the table there was placed a television set. 里边是王国华和他爱人住的屋子。里边 inside 王国华和他爱人 Wang Guohua and his wife Chu to live. Whose room? So inside there was a living room of Wang Guohua and his wife. So there were two rooms. Outside room there was a table and several chairs were placed on both sides of the table. And the room that was on inside, it was the living room of Wang Guohua and his wife. 墙上 on the wall. 挂着 hanging. 几张 several. 画 paintings. 和七八 7 8 张照片 pictures. So on wall there were several paintings and 7 or 8 pictures. 床的左边是桌子 On the left side of the bed there was a table. 右边是一个衣柜 右边 on the right side 衣柜 A wardrobe. On the left side there was a table. On the right side there was a wardrobe. 桌子上放着收音机桌子上 On the table 放着 placed 收音机 a radio. On the table there was placed a radio. 床对面 is opposite side 床 bed. On the opposite side of the bed 放着 placed 一只箱子 suitcase. A suitcase was placed on the opposite side of the bed. 王国华的小女儿 is daughter. Wang Guohua's small daughter or young daughter. 穿着 wearing 一件红衣服 红 red 衣服 cloth. So his young daughter or his small daughter wearing a red dress. 长坐在床上玩 坐 to sit 在床上 at the bed 玩 enjoy or have fun. So his young daughter wearing a red dress was sitting on the bed and having fun. 她看见客人 She saw guests. 立刻 at once 高兴的 happily 立刻高兴的 at once happily 下床来 下 to get down 床 bed 来 came. So Wang Guohua's young daughter was wearing a red dress and sitting and playing on the bed. When she saw guests came, she immediately happily came down from the bed. 对客人们说 对 do or towards 客人们 guests 说 said. So she came down from bed and to the guest said 叔叔阿姨好叔叔 uncle 阿姨 aunt 好 hello hello uncle hello auntie. 王国华的爸爸给客人给 to give 客人 guest 介绍了一下介绍 introduction or a brief about 一下 a bit 他家的情况他家 his family 情况 situation. Wang Guohua's father gave guests a brief introduction or a brief about the situation of their family. 他说 he said 这几年 these several years 他说这几年 he said these several years 大家生活好了大家 everybody 生活 life 好了 good. So he said these several years life of people has been good. 今年又是丰收今年 this year 又 again 丰收 a bumper harvest. This year, again, there has been a bumper harvest. 手里有了钱, show hand, li inside, 有 to have, 钱 money. So in their hands they have money. 盖了不少新屋子, 盖了 to build, 不少 not less or many. 新屋子, shin is new, 屋子 rooms or homes. So people have money because there has been a bumper harvest. They have money in their hand and have built several or many new houses. 我们家的屋子也是新盖的. Our home is also newly built. 我们家的屋子, our family's home is also newly built. 现在大家都积极劳动. 现在 right now, 大家 everybody 积极 actively 劳动 to do labor. Right now or these days, everybody do labor very actively. 努力建设新农村, 努力 hard work or hardworking, 建设 construct or build, 新 new, 农村 village, with hard work constructing or building a new village. 客人要走的时候, 客人 guest, 走 to walk, 时候 time, at the time when guests were about to walk or at the time of their departure. 王国华的爸爸笑着说, Wang Kuhua's father 笑着 smilingly 说 said, at the time of their departure, Wang Kuhua's father smilingly said, 欢迎你们以后再来, 欢迎 welcome, 你们 you all, 以后 later, 再 again, 来 to come, welcome you all, come again. So at the time of their departure, Wang Kuhua's father smilingly said to the guest, welcome, please come again later. This was lesson 32 from Elementary Chinese Reader 2, where we learned about the usage of particle ch to denote a happening that is going on or a present happening, an ongoing event.